If you don't show your feminine side, you're a bitch. Welcome back to the Masculine Direction. Good to see you. As always, it's always great to have you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're crushing it. I don't like wasting your time, so let's get it. If you're finding yourself as a man or building yourself, and you want to have deeper and better connections with women, better relationships, and simply want to be more fulfilled and happy as a man, this video is for you. Man, be aware and critical of everything you see on social media, especially all this Tate, Liverking, red pill messages about having to become this hyper-masculine, stoic dude at all times, that you can never show feminine traits or vulnerability. Please don't buy into this. And of course, there's levels to this that explain the context of this message I have. And as always, I will provide this in great detail to you. So make sure to stick around until the end of the video. So of course, why are we seeing this? This extreme hyper-masculine message that you see and that gets a lot of traction on the internet, a lot of views, a lot of airtime, is a reaction, is a counter-reaction to the pressure that's been on masculinity, right? As everything is trying to be equalized and we're trying to get rid of the beautiful synergy between men and women. This is a counter-reaction. Of course, the core of the message is to support masculinity, right? And men knowing how to express their masculine energy and become better and improving themselves. And I'm 100% for this. But the message in which it's communicated is very one-sided and very one-dimensional. And if you're interested about masculinity, then this is what you need to watch out for. This hyper-masculine message, right, has the effect of men wanting to copy it, and men want to force this behavior on their own character. And what happens is that you digress of your own authentic masculinity, right? You become less aligned with yourself, and the further you try to enforce this image, right, this masculine alpha male image on your own character, the more insecure you actually become. The more you're telling yourself, I am not good enough. I need to be this extreme masculine figure at all times. It is not natural, and so you will not be capable of real intimacy with women, and you will have very poor relationships if you think that masculinity is so one-sided. And even moreover, people will feel it. People will feel this dissonance of what you're trying to portray and what you actually are authentically. And especially women will feel this, right? You will not be able to make a woman feel safe, which is what builds attraction for her, right? She will not be safe and trusting in your masculine lead because you're portraying some kind of image that we see on social media so much. So of course, how the fuck does that work then? Do you need to become more feminine in order to become more masculine? Let me tell you, life is one fucking paradox. You can indeed not be masculine, truly masculine, if you don't embrace femininity. See, let me explain by a few examples. Freedom does not exist without borders. Fear will disappear as you step into it. Love doesn't exist without hate. Light doesn't exist without darkness. And choosing peace over aggression is not a virtue if you cannot be dangerous. I mean, I can go on and on, these examples, they are everywhere in our lives. It is one big paradox, and usually the thing that is against our intuition is the right decision. So of course there is a lot of nuance and context required for this, because the answer is not become more feminine to become more masculine. There's levels to this. 3 levels, and I will explain them to you. First off, you haven't quite embraced your own masculinity yet. In the case that you have a more masculine essence, which doesn't necessarily have to be the case, there's also men with more feminine essences, and that's totally fine. But if you have a more masculine essence and you haven't embraced and connected to this yet, then this is your first step. Start a martial arts. Start doing semen retention. Start doing hard projects. Start a business. Go to the gym. Get to know yourself in the discomfort. And as you do this and you start connecting to your masculine essence, come back to this video for the next 2 levels. Second, you have embraced your masculinity, right? And you have a life design that's, making you feel energetic, powerful. Maybe you're in a relationship and you feel quite masculine in this dynamic. You're quite confident in your masculine energy. This is where the mistake happens. At this point, we think, because of everything we see in social media and all this messaging, that we need to become harder, more stoic. See, to get here, you probably established a purpose or an objective in life. You've changed your life design, right? You're doing all these things that empower your masculinity. This is now serving you. This is nourishing your masculine side. You don't need to do more. You don't need to become harder and tougher and all this shit. You're already taking care of that, that path of development is taken care of. What you actually need to do is start exploring the other side. And just like everything with these paradoxes, right? Want to truly choose peace, that you need to also become dangerous, right? You need to do martial arts or fight. It's the same here. But see what feminine qualities you have and start expressing that with that masculine confidence that you've built. Right? A lot of men make the mistake here to keep forcing this masculine image even further and even more. And what happens is that you digress off your authentic masculine self. Right? It's not the sum of the masculine traits and the masculine things that you do in life that makes you a man. It's you expressing your masculine energy and also owning your feminine traits. For example, I'm a coach, and one of my gifts is empathy. I am very good at listening and seeing what is said between the lines. This is not necessarily a masculine trait, but does it make me weak to express it? It would take a very shallow man to formulate a statement as such. It's about being man enough to own your feminine qualities as well. At level 2, you have built the credit to express vulnerability and feminine traits to the world. You have built that credit. Everybody can see how you walk in a room. Everybody can see the things that you're doing, right? That you are able to defend yourself, that you have a masculine frame, that you have a masculine physical appearance, right? You've worked on yourself to a degree to which you can afford to show your feminine traits and be vulnerable. Don't listen to this bullshit on social media, right? And this is where we get to level 3, and that's true, authentic masculinity. That's what we're interested in. That's how this YouTube channel is very different than 99% of all the other YouTube channels that talk about similar subjects. And I'll tell you why this is so fucking important, right? It's saying, I know who the fuck I am, I know what my value is, and I have nothing more to prove to anyone, right? I'm so confident in my masculinity that I express my femininity. Owning your full character. So why is this so important? Why is this so essential? Because, guys, there is no other way to become aligned to yourself. There is no other way to become truly happy and fulfilled as a man in life. If you stay in level 2 and you start clinching, right, tensing up in that masculine image you have, right, of this purely watered down version of Andrew Tate and Liverking, you become this diluted version of yourself, that has no depth to it, that has no real value to it. You're just a soundboard that's repeating all these masculine phrases or whatever. The depth and the true masculinity is emphasized by the feminine traits. You become aligned with yourself. This means you're simply feeling good, man. You're able to express yourself, even your feminine sides, right? You have nothing to prove anymore. You're completely confident and safe in your own skin. And now a truly major part of this is that you will be capable of true intimacy. You will be capable of real depth in your relationships with women. See, all this shit you see, mostly this red pill kind of messaging of if you show any kind of femininity or vulnerability, she will leave you, she will cheat on you. All this shit happens on level 2. All this shit happens on level 2. Let me repeat. All this shit that you see, it is true, yes, but it happens on level 2. Once you become a level 3 man and you are completely confident in your skin, to the extent that you are able to confidently, in a grounded way, express your feminine qualities, you will attract a high quality woman that's also on that level, right? Who has also done some research about her own femininity, right? Who is very much in tune with herself. Do you think that she's interested or that she desires a man that's on level 2, that's still completely tensed up, right? In his masculine energy, thinking that he only needs to do all these masculine things and can never be vulnerable. All the shit you see, this very toxic dating scene and memes and whatever about that on social media. Know that this image doesn't apply to you. We here in the masculine direction, we are interested in level 3. So you take distance from that whole game. All that shit you see about cheating and toxic behavior in relationships, that's about level 2. That's about the lower levels. We are interested in a deeper connection, right? And that requires you to do some soul searching and explore your feminine qualities. And if you do that, and if you level up to that, level of masculinity, you will attract a woman that's also on that level. Moving to this higher level of masculinity attracts a completely different kind of woman in your life. Frankly, this has nothing to do with most of the shit that you see on social media. So please, guys, be aware, be critical, and take this with a grain of salt, man. Because most of this shit are conversations between men and women on level 2 that are still thinking, on how to come across in such a way, who's going to cheat the first, and, all this completely stupid shit, man. It doesn't apply to us, so you can relax. And I'm telling you this from experience, right? High-level women don't play these games. We're talking here about removing yourself from a part of your ego, right? That's also what is required for you to feel into your feminine traits. So, guys, please don't become this tensed up, this amalgamation of all the hypermasculine characters you see on social media or in your environment. Don't look in the external world to learn about who you are as a man, Build yourself first up to level 2 and then have the balls to explore your feminine side. That's it. See you in the next one, man.